Mr. Senator, this is one split Republican Party, isn't it? And, you know, that's no way to go into a re-election campaign. What do you say?
Well, that's going to be a common theme, I think, from here going forward. I'm back in my hometown of Jasper today, a place where we've had conversations before. I manage my tree farm for the therapy I need for my new job as a senator. So that kind of tug of war, I think, is going to be out there. And Stu, it's very clear. We've got to, even with what President Trump said, manage to keep the party together. It's not like we're long on numbers to begin with. I think as a party, in addition to what President Trump is bringing out, actually be there, back the agenda. The agenda was working so well. I would have never run for senator had Hillary Clinton got elected. So when you're out there, though, wrestling with members of your own party, Rick Scott's now in charge of getting the Senate races across the finish line, I think you've got to be careful, because if not, we just won't have the numbers to pull it off in the Senate races, let alone what we do building into 2024. So I think it's good to remind everyone in the party that we wouldn't have gotten everything accomplished with the Tax Cut and Jobs Act back in December of 17. Biggest benefit for a Main Street entrepreneur like me. Got to remember all that. If we're going to fracture the party, whether it's coming from President Trump or coming from the rhino side of the party, and believe me, there is that there. President Trump was the embodiment of people being upset with business as usual in D.C. So you got to be careful with it, because we cannot fracture the party, or else we just won't win in 2022, let alone 2024.
The House is going to take up the COVID relief bill, $1.9 trillion. And as you know, the blue states, they got their bailout. I know you're not happy about this, and Senator Scott in Florida is wildly unhappy about it. But I put it to you, Senator, nothing you can do. It's going to happen.
You know, sadly, the consequences of what occurred in the Georgia Senate seats, we're paying the price now. And yes, I understand the system pretty well. I was a legislator for 3 years before becoming a senator. When you don't have the votes, you don't have the votes. But when you push across something that's a smokescreen for public health and COVID, and 90% of it is stuff that would appall most of the American public if they knew what was in there, including blue state bailouts. Indiana, we have balanced budgets. We live within our means. Rainy day funds. Talked to the governor a little over 2 weeks ago. We're in good shape because we had a good business climate and a good state government before. Bailing out bad behavior, bad practices, places like California, New York, New Jersey. That's going to give us material to work with when we talk about 2022 and 2024 as well.
Got it. By the way, Senator, there is $300 million in this COVID package, $300 million for COVID animal surveillance. Bet you didn't know that. It's in there. Nothing to laugh at.
No, and that's one of many, many things that people ought to look into, the details of what just happened. And it's going to go through, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't flush it out, expose the craziness that's in that bill. We're all going to be paying for it down the road, and we're borrowing every penny for it in the meantime.
Mr. Senator, always a pleasure. Thank you very much for being with us again, sir. Come again soon.
Thank you.